Hello, and thank you for joining us here on the Neutral Zone. I am Phil Milani, joined as always by my trusty sidekick, my partner in crime. Really, the best way to describe this person is my everything. It's at Eric Dalala.
Phil, nice to be with you.
It's a particularly nice week to be with you as well.
Exciting times here.
Yeah, some ownership news this week with the Broncos, huh? Some stuff to get into there. A new beginning for the franchise.
A new chapter.
Yeah. You know, Pat Bowlen owned this team for a very long time. Hall of Fame owner, a lot of recognition for the work that he did at the league level with all of the broadcast deals that he got through. What do they say? He's the godfather of Sunday Night Football. And obviously, locally here, the Broncos, 7 Super Bowl appearances under Pat Bowlen, won 3. That's a pretty good run.
Yeah, for a long time there, Phil. More Super Bowl appearances than losing seasons.
That was a nice stat when it existed. Yeah. But yes, a new beginning here with the Walton Penner family. A purchase and sale agreement. The NFL still has to go through some more steps here before things get finalized. But nice to see that this process soon will probably be all but wrapped up.
Yeah, that's right, Phil. And we'll get into it a little bit more. But like you mentioned, Rob Walton, Kerry Walton Penner, Greg Penner, Melody Hobson, all part of this Walton Penner ownership group. Like you mentioned, the purchase and sale agreement in place that came out Tuesday evening.
Yep.
And talk a little bit about their statements probably, but
yeah,
there's still some more steps to go. So when all that's finalized is when we'll really dig into kind of the meat of what this means.
Yeah, I think that, when everything gets finalized and they're officially the new owners of the Denver Broncos, we could dive into the bigger issues here because there's a lot of things that I think the fan base might want to see get addressed, things that have been discussed previously, certainly by Broncos president and CEO Joe Ellis, some issues that maybe we can dive into. But we'll wait until everything gets officially official.
That's right.
Officially official.
It's important.
That's the motto of this podcast.
That is.
This is an officially official podcast. So let's talk a little about Russell Wilson, too, maybe in this episode, because our friend Chris Sims comes out with his quarterback rankings. Okay, these are pretty good rankings, I would say, Eric. Normally he goes really in depth on these, takes them seriously, put some thought into it. It's been a long process because each week he only releases like 5 or so of these names, and he owns it. You know, like he's like, these are my rankings, and it's more of like a projection for what he expects for the 2022 season, for the next season.
Right.
That's what these rankings are.
Right.
So,
it's not a career evaluation. It's not it's not like a lifetime achievement award. It's going into this year, what do you expect?
What do you expect? Exactly. So we'll dive into that. Russell Wilson's name popped up this week. That's why we're going to get into it.
He's on the list. He's in the top 40.
He is on the list. You would hope that, I think.
You would hope that, I think.
I believe Drew Lock is number 40.
That's correct.
That's not a bash. That's just what it is.
That's just a fact.
That's just what it is.
It's a fact.
It's on Chris Sims' list of quarterback rankings.
We just share facts.
Drew Lock is number 40 on there.
No shots.
I think that you probably like that, but me, I'm just reporting the facts. That's all I'm saying. So those are the two.
Where's Teddy Bridgewater?
I think he's a few slots ahead of Drew Lock.
Got it.
Yeah,
okay.
I think he's like 38. Maybe,
got it.
Something
I was
like
just
that.
clarifying.
Well, he won the quarterback battle. I mean, Chris Sims is just following suit with what Pat Shurmur and Vic Fangio thought last year. So,
it's not about last year. It's about this year.
It is about this year, yeah. So he took what they thought last year and applied it for this year.
Got it.
So those are our 2 main topics of conversation on this episode. But like every week, Eric, we dive into the YouTube comments. If you're listening to the Neutral Zone in your car, maybe you're working out, maybe you don't even know this, but you could watch the Neutral Zone every week on the Broncos official YouTube page.
That's right.
You normally wearing quarter zips.
I've still got a nice button down going on.
I got more of a casual
recording day.
It's a casual day. Yeah. You could look at our hair, which is nice.
It's true.
We take tremendous pride in our hair. So, but make sure you check it out on the YouTube page because you could also leave a comment. And one of the important pillars of the Neutral Zone is this is an interactive show. We are here for NZ Nation, so you leave a comment, we read all the comments, and then we react to them. So I got a couple here that we should get to. Grant Gibson says, I didn't realize how much I look forward to listening to the NZ during my Thursday lunch breaks until there wasn't one, Eric.
Dun, dun, dun.
Love the show, but come on, fellas, we need some consistency so we can plan out our week. Keep up the great podcast. Grant, I'm sorry to let you down again this week.
We like to be a little bit unpredictable.
I don't think we like that, but sometimes we are.
Sometimes it just happens.
Yeah, unfortunately.
There's some things outside of our control sometimes.
Yes. Like if we recorded an entire podcast and had it all ready to go for Grant's lunch break, but then for some outside of our control reason we couldn't give him that, that happens.
That does happen.
That happens sometimes.
When was like the last time that happened?
I couldn't. It's hard to recall.
Yeah.
It's hard to recall. Could have been this week.
Could have.
It could have been this week.
It's hard to recall.
It is, but I do not recall.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is definitely something we'll try to work on. Thursday mornings, that's what we shoot for.
That's what we try for, but we're not perfect.
Jasmine, our friend, a recent frequent commenter on YouTube, I would say. We enjoy seeing Jasmine's comments every week. I wish my name had a non-traditional spelling so I could be cool like you guys.
Everybody wants one.
Yeah, Eric, Phil. No, we got non-traditional spellings. So, here's a good one, Eric. This is from CVC Pharmacy.
Okay.
I don't know where that is.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Not CVS, but CVC. I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
Good name here. But who would win in an arm wrestling contest between all Broncos players?
Ooh.
Who would win?
Well, I think immediately I go to offensive line, but I then think defensive line too, because you've got kind of like the hand-to-hand combat. I think these defensive linemen maybe sometimes.
Oh, like the DeMarcus Ware hand-to-hand.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Sometimes they're a little more chiseled, the defensive linemen.
Chiseled?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm going to go with Draymond Jones. He's got like that violent streak at the line of scrimmage. I think
you think he's violent?
I think he's strong.
Oh.
I'd go with him.
Because when I think about arm wrestling, I think about two factors here.
Arms?
Well, there's really three
factors.
Wrestling. Okay. Strength.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, I'm thinking O-line.
Okay.
Those are some of the strongest dudes I know. They bend the bars in the weight room just like you do.
When they pick them up and put them down.
But then the other thing I think about is arm length. You don't want too long arms. So I think of somebody who could bench press well, because similarly on the bench press, you don't want long arms. Yeah, you just want power.
Just power.
Boom, get it to the table. So I'm going to go Natani Muti.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because the third factor I think about is mindset too, and you got to be a little bit like, you got to have some rage, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. And so O-line, I think, is where I would go, and I'm going to go to Natani Muti.
Maybe we can set it up.
He's probably the strongest player on the team, I would say.
Probably.
Little known fact, I mean, when he gets in the weight room,
you watch out.
The iron is being sharpened.
That's true.
By his iron. So
you can set it up. Draymond versus Natani. We'll set it up.
The other thing is, like, right off the bat, your forearms got to, like, kind of curl it. You know, you got to kind of curl that.
That's true.
And then also some people cheat a little when there's arm wrestling. So, you know, I feel like linemen, they kind of grab it, they kind of cheat a little sometimes, you know. So
yeah.
you got to
thought this through.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm just reading these questions for the very first time. So, Eric, Julian Velarde.
Yeah.
Okay. This channel needs to hire more genuinely funny, energetic, outgoing people. So boring. Just my honest opinion. Sorry.
Sounds sorry, Phil.
Why the sorry?
Yeah, I think
if that's how you feel, just own it.
Just own it. If you're gonna have that take, if you're gonna come after us like that, just own it. You know.
I feel like that was sort of a shot.
Just a little bit.
Sort of a shot. Own it. Don't say sorry. And I think that most of NZ Nation would disagree with you. Just to say that one more time, it's Julian Velarde.
Yeah, get after him.
Julian, I don't know. Yeah, that's probably I don't know. That's one last comment to get to.
Okay,
here,
yeah.
Eric on YouTube here. This is from Aiden Bevidovin.
Okay, our favorite bar.
No
vowels.
Vowels there at the end. Eric and Phil. If there was a tug of war between, I'll say it slowly so that we can get it. Cortland, is on one side. KJ Hamler and Greg Dulcich. Okay, that's one side. Cortland, KJ, Greg Dulcich. On the other side, Tim Patrick.
Okay.
Jerry Jeudy, Albert O. Okay.
I'm guessing Albert O is probably the strongest player of those 6. If I had to
Albert
guess.
is probably the strongest.
But I'm going to go with the other side.
What?
I think Cortland probably has Tim from a strength standpoint, even though Tim's got kind of that craziness you want for tug of war.
Yeah.
But I go to Greg Dulcich's quads.
You're saying the quads because he's got the short shorts, the high socks. It kind of makes your eyes go to the quad.
Tug of war, it's about strength with your arm, but it's also you got to dig in.
No, the power's got to come from the legs.
You got to dig in.
The power's
and so
come from
I think
the legs.
those quads set you up well. And I bet KJ's closer than people might think to Jerry in terms of strength.
Oh, I disagree. I'm going to have to disagree with you on that. Yeah. I think Albert O is the strongest, so I immediately start going to that side. Tim Patrick, he's got that edge that you want. And so I think so does Jerry Jeudy. I think he's
got that edge.
I think he's a little bit stronger than you realize. Eric, one of the things I like to do is when the guys come back from
you like to see how big they are.
Yeah, some of them I want to see, how dedicated have you been to them?
Yeah.
And I think Jerry Jeudy's been lifting some weights.
Wow.
That's what I think. So that's the side I take.
Okay.
Albert O, Tim Patrick, Jerry Jeudy, that side is winning in a tug of war. Thank you for the comments. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
You could be a part of the Neutral Zone if you leave a comment on the Broncos official YouTube page. Subscribe while you're there.
Yeah.
Boop, beep, 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 beep.
The noise changes.
That's it. Sometimes it changes.
Yeah, you never really know.
Yeah. And then there's other ways you can be a part of the show, Eric.
That's right. You can leave a voicemail at 707-NEUTRAL. You call in. You say what you want to say. You don't have to talk to anybody, which is nice.
That's probably my favorite feature.
That's the nice thing. Sometimes
you don't want to talk.
Sometimes you just call and you rant a little bit.
And then then Swanson just deletes it.
And then we'll play it right here on the air. Or you can leave an email, neutralzoneshow@gmail.com. Maybe you prefer typing.
Some people like to craft their statement.
Right. I like to
especially if it's sort of like delicate material. You're like, I got to craft this.
Yeah.
I don't want to just say something I don't mean.
Of course.
So you got to.
So I like to craft it. I like to type, send an email.
Craft it up.
Or you can follow us on Twitter at Eric Delala with an A, at Phil Milani with a PH.
Non-traditional spellings.
Non-traditional spellings. You follow us there at Broncos Podcast. It's another Twitter account you could follow. Could be fun.
That's a Twitter account?
I think it's the official Twitter account of the podcast network.
Oh, got it.
So those are the ways.
I didn't know about that one. That one's new, I think, to me.
Yeah, very new.
We do have a voicemail at the end of this show.
I'm excited.
It is a nice voicemail. First-time caller, long-time listener.
We love those.
So we like that. So please make this an interactive experience. We appreciate that. So, Eric, with that, let's dive into our first topic here on this episode of the Neutral Zone, and that is that the Broncos and the Walton Penner family have entered into a purchase and sale agreement. I've pulled up the statements here so that I
want to pull it up too, so we can just
I don't want to say something
wrong
that I'm not supposed to say.
Don't get yourself into trouble.
No. So let's talk about this, Eric. It's been a long time coming. This has been, the trust has been operating the Broncos here for several years. We've seen things play out in different court systems here. Now the Broncos one step closer to officially transitioning leadership here.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, the Walton Penner family enters into a purchase and sale agreement. There's 4 known owners as part of this group, or 4 individuals part of this group. You have Rob Walton, Carrie Walton Penner, and her husband, Greg Penner.
Yep.
And then the 4th, Melody Hobson. She's the co-CEO of Ariel Investments.
Yep.
She's the chair of Starbucks. And she's also, I believe, a director of J.P. Morgan Chase.
Yeah.
And so those are the 4 kind of people to know.
Yes.
I know there's a lot of speculation out there about other potential involved people, but those are the 4 that we know that have been approved and confirmed. And Phil, this is, like we mentioned at the beginning, this is not complete yet. It's not official. No. Still has to be approved by the NFL's finance committee.
Yep.
Has to be approved by, I believe, 3/4 of the league's ownership.
Yep.
That will happen in the coming weeks here.
Yeah.
But excited. I think a good step forward. Good to have closure.
Yes.
And that's what we know right now. And you mentioned you have the statements pulled up. I thought there were some good things to take away from Rob Walton's statement.
Yeah, the line that I particularly liked out here was, we look forward, this is a direct quote here from Rob Walton, we look forward to earning the confidence and support of the NFL as we take the next step in this process. When the necessary approval procedures are met, our family is excited to share more with Broncos fans, the organization, and the community. I like that approach, Eric, just saying we've got to earn this. We don't feel like we're just going to come in and just sort of just step right into it. We got to earn this. I think that that's the right approach. And I think for Broncos fans, you got to be excited about this move.
Of course. And, the other part of that quote that you mentioned there, Phil, is we're excited to share more.
Sounds like they've got a plan.
There's a plan in place, it sounds like. There's a lot more coming. Obviously, we know all the issues that Joe Ellis mentioned previously. A new stadium could be among the issues, or figuring out what to do with the stadium is an important issue. And then we've heard people, Russell Wilson's contract, new uniforms, all those sorts of things will be things that we talk about, I'm sure, in the future when this becomes more official, when the process is finalized. Certainly a lot to come. What stood out to me, Phil, is also from Rob Walton's quote, having lived and worked in Colorado, we've always admired the Broncos. Our enthusiasm has only grown as we've learned more about the team, staff, and Broncos country over the last few months. I think, end quote. I think there's an appreciation for this region, appreciation for this team. It sounds like the Walton Penner family ownership group understands what this team is all about and what it means to the region. Joe Ellis mentioned before the sale that was important, and the Broncos hoped they could find a group that understood what this team meant to the city, and it sounds like they have.
And look, these are big shoes to fill. I mean, Pat Bowlen is a Hall of Fame owner. You don't get to that status without doing some pretty special things. The work that he's done here. I would just say this: you never doubted where Broncos ownership stood. Winning was everything. There's a big sign, near the locker room that used to say, "We want to be number one in everything." Those are big shoes to fill. So I think that Pat Bowlen just really made this a flagship organization, certainly in the Rocky Mountain region. So definitely big shoes to fill. But this is an exciting step here. One other quote I wanted to read. This one came from Broncos president and CEO Joe Ellis. He said that learning more about their background. This is the Walton Penner side. Learning more about their background and vision for the Denver Broncos, I'm confident that their leadership and support will help this team achieve great things on and off the field. So Joe Ellis obviously confident in this transition as well.
Right.
So.
And we know the legacy that this team has had success-wise on the field and off the field of all their contributions. So sounds like Joe expects that to continue. And like we mentioned, just one more time, Phil, there's plenty more to talk about. I'm sure at some point we're going to hear from this ownership group, and I'm sure they'll be asked many of the questions that NZ Nation has, that we have. And at that point, we'll be able to – that'll be when, when they've met, when they've gone through the finance committee, when they've gone through the approval process, and at that point, and it's official, and that press conference or whatever takes place – there'll be a lot more to dive into, and we'll have some concrete answers to some of these questions.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want to speculate too much on what this new group wants to come in here and do, but I'm sure that they'll address a lot of those issues when it becomes officially official.
Right.
So we'll wait until then to dive into some of these things. But time frame for this, Eric, probably thinking I know that Joe Ellis has said this a couple of times, thinking hopefully around the start of the next season here.
Yeah, the Broncos have maintained before the regular season they would like this to all be finalized, and we don't have any reason to believe that would not be the case.
So far, everything has been according to the deadlines.
Right.
So we'll keep an eye on this. It's certainly an exciting time here, and then once it becomes official, we'll dive into some more topics. So
perfect.
We'll leave it at that. Let's dive into our second topic of conversation here on this episode, and that is Russell Wilson. We tend to talk about him every sort of week.
We like to talk about him.
We enjoy doing that. I think
the fans like it. We like it.
Yeah.
I don't know if Russ likes it. I think he does.
Oh, I'm sure that he
leaves comments sometimes.
Yeah. He has a different, he's like a sort of a
burner.
A burner account, yeah. So
Madame Bale, I think.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
That would be quite a twist, because Madame Bale, of course, has listened for a long time.
Long time, yeah.
And so if that was Russ,
could be nice.
It'd be like, wow.
Dedication.
You've had this plan for a while.
Really dedication.
Yeah.
You hear about his dedication to winning.
He knew.
His dedication to, just preparing the right way, and also his dedication to the neutral zone.
And to riding.
It's big. Yeah. And into what?
To riding.
Riding?
I write.
Rhyming?
Sometimes I get
rhyming.
I get here in the morning and I'm like, let's write.
You get pumped up?
Yeah.
Do you ever do some selfies?
Sometimes.
And you say, let's write.
Yeah. Like, I got Phil over here.
Yeah.
Let's write.
That's right. Eric, do you know who Chris Sims is?
I do.
Yeah. He's a former Broncos quarterback.
Former professional NFL quarterback.
Yeah. The son of Phil Sims.
Yes.
And also now a media giant.
Grandson of Pappy Sims.
Excuse me? He comes out with
not confirmed.
A top 40 quarterback countdown every year.
Oh, is this what you mentioned earlier in the show?
Yeah, this is nice. I enjoy this list because he puts a lot of thought and work into this. And at the neutral zone, we're big fans of Chris Sims.
Oh, I thought you were going to say putting a lot of thought into things.
We're not fans of that. No. Yeah, we just kind of go off the cuff a little bit here. Anyway, he does a top 40 quarterback countdown every year.
Who does?
Chris Sims.
Oh, okay. Son of Phil Sims.
Yeah, Phil Sims, yeah.
Okay.
Broncos country has an interesting relationship with Phil Sims, but if you ask me personally, I enjoy Phil Sims. So,
well, he's gone, right?
Sort of a hot take.
I mean, he's not gone like in general, but he's no longer doing play-by-play or
no, but he does the pregame show.
Yeah, but like a lot of people don't watch that.
I watch it.
I know you do.
I love the pregame show.
A lot of people
live for the pregame show.
A lot of people are like, "Oh, it's 2:25. Let's pop the game on." That's how I am. I'm like, I got until 2:25.
When it's 10 a.m. Mountain Time,
you're tuned in.
I'm tuned in.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy that a lot. Anyway, he comes up with this top 40 quarterback countdown. Okay.
So we're gonna read the list from 40
all the way
to 5. One name per minute.
Russell Wilson has come in for the 2022 season at number 7.
At 7.
7.
What was he going into 2021?
That would be good information to know. Do you have that, Eric?
I have no idea.
Ben Swanson has not prepared us.
He said he would be ready.
He has not prepared us. But I was going to say Aaron Rodgers is number 5. The back-to-back MVP is coming in at number 5.
I'll say this. Chris Sims has no problem stirring it up a little bit.
That's a hot take.
He has no problem stirring it up a little bit. Russell Wilson was number 5 going into 2021.
Okay, so now he's dropped 2 spots.
Dropped 2 spots, but he did have a tough season.
Yeah.
Missed some games due to injury.
And we should reiterate, this is what he thinks going into the 2022 season.
Correct.
The top 4 quarterbacks, their order has not been revealed, but we know that it is Patrick Mahomes,
some deductive reasoning,
Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, and Joe Burrow.
Okay.
Those 4 are going to be the top 4. We don't know the order yet, though.
Got it.
And then number 6 is Matthew Stafford.
So just above Russ.
Yeah. So according to Chris Sims, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, and Matt Stafford are the only quarterbacks that he thinks are better than Russell Wilson right now.
And just a few other quarterbacks of note.
Oh, okay.
Tom Brady is number 8.
Comes in at number 8.
So right behind Russ.
Right behind Russ.
Dak is number 9.
High for Dak, if you ask me. But
Lamar Jackson, number 10. Derek Carr, number 11.
yeah.
So Russ is third among AFC West quarterbacks. And then you mentioned this before. Teddy Bridgewater, 38. Drew Lock, 40.
Yeah.
That's the
You wanted to bring that up.
Well,
you felt like you had to bring up the Drew Lock
I think
again,
I think that just shows the sort of upgrade
yeah.
that the Broncos have made at that position.
From 38 to 7.
Correct.
That's a nice move.
I feel like 7 is about right.
I agree.
Looking at this list, would I rather have Russell Wilson or Tom Brady? Hard to argue against the greatest quarterback in the history of the game, but you never know when Tom's going to fall off a cliff.
I was going to say, Mike Sando, our friend from The Athletic, he likes to do this more in a tiers area.
Right.
Where these guys are in one tier, these guys are in a different tier, because I think that at some point, it's a little bit of a wash.
Right.
These guys are all very similar at some point.
Well, and I think Mike's a little bit lower on Russ.
He is a little bit lower, yeah. He has not come out with his tiers just yet.
He has not, but he's a little bit lower based on what we've talked to him. I think you could argue Russ could be ahead of Matthew Stafford. I know you're a big Matt Stafford guy. He obviously just won the Super Bowl.
He did just win a Super Bowl.
But I think in one game,
you could say they're very similar.
Yeah, I think Russ can probably do a little bit more with less.
Okay.
I don't know how much more, but if you needed one guy to win a game and you were putting him on the same roster, I think Matt Stafford benefits a lot from having McVay.
Well, you know that Stafford played his entire career with the Lions before this, right?
Right. A lot of playoff wins there, right?
No playoff wins, but he did a lot with less.
What would a lot be?
Won some
Because there
games.
was that's not a lot.
Megatron, when he was there, they were winning.
Okay, so when there was a Hall of Fame
when
wide
there was
receiver,
yeah. Interesting to think what Russ would
not
have
every
done
not
in
every
the
roster
Lions.
in Seattle was great, and they made the playoffs a lot of times.
Yeah. Pete Carroll's a pretty good coach.
Pete Carroll is a good coach.
Figure out a win.
Not the same offensive genius. I don't think that Sean McVay is.
That's true.
Sean McVay took Jared Goff to a Super Bowl.
He did.
Jared Goff did not do more with less last year.
In Detroit.
No.
He
is either 39 or between 12 and 37, Jared Goff.
You don't know where Jared Goff is. Huh?
I just used some deductive reasoning.
Oh, interesting. Let me find out.
Anyway, I would take Russ above Matthew Stafford.
Jared Goff is number 30 on this list.
Okay.
30.
So Sean McVay won one more game with Matthew Stafford than he did with Jared Goff.
That was a different Rams team, though.
Am I right, though? He got one game further.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't get a game further. He won.
He won that game.
Yeah, he won.
But essentially, so he got to the same place.
It's not like there's more games after the Super Bowl. He didn't get it.
Russell Wilson's a better quarterback than Matthew Stafford. That's my opinion.
Chris Sims disagrees with you, I think.
Yeah, that's okay. That's why we're talking about this.
I'm not going to weigh in on that, but I think
that Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Aaron Rodgers, I understand all those.
Hard being in the AFC West.
It is.
3 of the top 7 quarterbacks are in this division.
It's fun, though.
According to Chris Sims.
I'm going to make a little bit more controversy because I love this guy. I think he's tremendous.
Joe Burrow.
I think the Joe Burrow hype is a little much.
Oh,
I just think it's a little bit much. I just want to see it for an extended period of time.
This is why this is a projection for going into the season.
Like at no time last year were you like, Joe Burrow is the MVP of this league.
No.
Like he had some good games. He played well. He had a nice playoff run. He's a winner, Phil. QB wins, obviously a stat that you love.
He's got a lot of swag.
He got a lot of swag. I love watching this guy play football.
That.
He makes some incredible plays.
Yeah.
But I think from like a pure talent and like ability standpoint and what that guy gives you, we haven't seen him play at like the same level as Mahomes, Herbert, Allen, Rodgers.
We have not seen it yet, but
and it's a projection.
Sims is
It's a projection.
Yeah. He thinks he takes another step this year.
I'm not sure I see that big of a step, so I think Burrow's probably a little high. I would put Burrow probably down below Stafford, Russ, and Tommy.
Yeah.
I put Joe like ahead of Dak and Lamar.
Yeah. At this point.
But, I think the big takeaway here is that you don't have to have the number 1 quarterback. You don't have to have the number 4 quarterback. the number 3
tier.
the number 3 quarterback does not always beat the number 6 quarterback. As long as I think you've got a guy that's in that elite group, and really looking at this, I think I would probably even include like Dak and Lamar in that. If you have one of those,
Lamar is amazing.
If you have one of those top 10 guys, you're going to be in position to win a lot of football games. You're never going to be outmatched to a degree where you can't win. And we've talked about this a lot. Like Patrick Mahomes, you might take him head-to-head compared to Russ, but Russ can outplay him on any given day.
Correct.
Russ with the Broncos roster might be a better team than Patrick Mahomes with the Chiefs roster.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what happens, but I think the big thing is that Russ is in this conversation, whereas the last few years – the Broncos have not had a quarterback anywhere near that conversation.
No. Like we mentioned, Drew 40, Teddy 38.
You think of where like Case Keenum would fall on that list, Joe Flacco at the time.
Yeah.
Trevor
Siemian?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unlisted.
Paxton.
Must have been some sort of a clerical
error that Trevor. Yeah, I think he was. Yeah. I think he's actually in the top 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just
haven't revealed his name yet.
Yeah,
top 4.
Yeah, he was like, oh, I meant Trevor, not Burrow.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to redo the whole rankings because now it's all kind of messed up.
Some sort of mess up there. Yeah.
But I mean, that's my takeaway is that Russ has gotten about the respect he deserves. He's
7, I think, is a perfect slot for him right there.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, he's coming off a little bit of an
injury.
Years. Right.
An injury last year.
Didn't make the playoffs.
Didn't make the playoffs.
And so you can't expect him to be like ranked 3rd, I don't think.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people are stricken with Justin Herbert. There's this belief that like Justin Herbert is just he's been bestowed upon us from above.
That's true. He's very good.
Yeah, he's made the playoffs the same number of times as the Broncos in his career.
Yeah.
So that's just interesting.
You're just stating facts here.
Yeah.
That's all that you're doing.
But no, Justin Herbert is great. Patrick Mahomes is great. Russell Wilson, I think he's in the same type of category. And like you said, I think it's about right.
This is a hard thing because you just all we have to go off of is previous stuff. And then this is looking ahead.
Projection.
Yeah, exactly. So the fact that Justin Herbert hasn't made the playoffs, well, I think that Chris Sims believes that's going to change.
I would imagine based on this ranking that's the case. But he's also really high on the Broncos, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And I think if Russ
played a tough division.
If Russ played like the 7th best quarterback, you'd probably be happy with that, I think.
Yeah. What do you think about Sims releasing this very slowly? It's like a couple months sort of process here.
I don't think it's that long, is it? I think it's been a few weeks.
It's been a long time. No, every week it's like 3 or 4 guys. That's it.
Oh. Yeah, whatever.
You did something like that a couple years ago.
The off season's long.
Yeah.
You gotta fill space.
That's true. Who do you think is going to be number 1, Eric? How would you rank those 4 guys?
Burrow. I mean, as I said, I would put Burrow lower, but
yeah.
I put Burrow 4 if he's guaranteed to be in the top 4, which he is in this.
Yeah.
I would put Herbert, Air Bear, as we like to call him, 3rd. I put Josh Allen 2nd.
Oh, that's what I was trying to get.
Josh Allen is the trendy pick to be like the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
Which he's unbelievably talented. I think he probably wins MVP.
Yeah.
But I still think that like you're playing one game, Mahomes is still the guy.
Okay, and then if you had to, how would you rank some of these guys? Let's get the Eric Dalala list for like the top 8 guys or whatever.
Oh, okay. Mahomes 1, Allen 2, Rodgers 3.
Oh, you put Rodgers up there? Okay.
Rodgers up there. So this is supposed to be a projection?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's do Herbert 3, Rodgers 4.
Okay. Oh, so you made a big deal about how he's been anointed and people are stricken with him. And
he's good. He's a good player. Okay, so Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, Rodgers, Tommy, then Russ.
So you have him at 6.
So I'd put Russ at 6.
6, yeah.
Then Trevor.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And I think you could actually. I think there's a good argument that Russ can play better than Tom this year. I think so. I think you look at that list and there's not 2 guys that like having Burrow and Stafford and Rodgers. You've only got to jump 2 of those guys to get to the top 5.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's a stretch at all to say that Wilson could be a top 5 guy this year. Hard to. I mean, what sort of metric do you use for that? Like touchdowns?
It's all very much the same.
It's subjective, But there's no reason he couldn't be a top 5 guy.
Yeah, I would put Josh Allen at number 1, just in my opinion. But
he's gonna have a great year. I think it depends. Like what do you think is? Like he could have a great year and he could win MVP and they could like advance to the Super Bowl. Does that make him a better quarterback than Mahomes, or is it just like he's had a better year?
I like it when quarterbacks throw a lot of touchdowns.
Well, yeah, okay,
a lot of yards, but not that many interceptions, and they win a lot.
But even if Allen won MVP and won the Super Bowl, I don't think I'd be like you're better than Mahomes. I'd be like you'd had a better year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because guys can have like elite years.
What would it take for you to think that somebody's better than Mahomes?
I don't know if it's possible. He's good.
Because his arm strength is probably better, I would say, Josh Allen.
I think consistent.
His mobile, he can run better than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
So arm and then legs better. And then if he were to win, I think the only thing that's keeping him from being number 1 is the fact that he hasn't won a Super Bowl yet.
But Mahomes has already won a Super Bowl.
And he's won MVP.
He's been to 2, right?
Yeah.
He's been in the AFC Championship every year of his career, right?
Yeah.
So,
but if Allen were to win MVP and the Super Bowl,
I think he'd still be
better, in my mind.
No, because Mahomes has done that already. So that'd be that'd be like a tie. But then you defer. In my mind, you defer to sustained success, which Mahomes has done it.
Well, Josh Allen can't. That's like a team thing. Do you know what I mean? Like being in the AFC Championship. Yeah. Or even just a coin flip, as last year was.
Oh.
Yeah.
So just make it that. Make it about the coin.
But I would say arm strength and legs, I would give to Josh Allen. So
if Josh Allen wins MVP in the Super Bowl this year,
he'd be the best quarterback.
And then there was a draft where you could draft any player, you would take Allen ahead of Mahomes.
Yeah.
Wow.
If that were to happen.
See, the only reason I worry a little bit about Josh is that he had Dabble there, and he's gone now. They're going to run the same system with Dorsey, but
it's going to be different.
We'll just see.
We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to see. I agree with you.
The Bills are also cursed, right?
That's yeah.
So how do you win the Super Bowl if you're cursed?
You have to have a unique player.
If the Broncos
come from the heavens,
if the Broncos don't win the Super Bowl, I'd love to see the Bills win. I like Josh Allen. I like the Bills.
Yeah. That fan base has been
they deserve
tortured
it.
for a
I have
long
some
time.
family up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Your family likes to jump on on tables that are on fire, right?
Yeah.
That's sort of the long lineage of Delilas. They jump through tables.
Right.
Yeah. What about if it was 0 degrees outside? Do you wear a shirt or no?
No.
No shirt. You don't do that, right?
No. If Ryan Fitzpatrick doesn't need a shirt, I don't need a shirt.
No, but he's got the beard.
That's true.
The beard kind of became...
It's kind of just it's one thing.
Yeah. A lot of warmth. You lose most of your body heat from your head. And so...
Yeah, that's why earmuffs and a hat are so important.
Yeah.
And I also think your feet...
And beard.
I've heard your feet are another place where you lose a lot of heat.
Yeah, that is true.
Science.
Yeah. You want to know an interesting fact? I don't know why I know this. Sure. If you and someone else were stuck out in the wild somewhere and it was going to be freezing temperatures that night, you're supposed to sleep with each other's feet in your armpits. Do you know what I mean? Head to toe. But that way you could keep your feet warm and you could survive the night.
Oh.
Yeah. I read that when I was a kid or something, and I was it's stuck with me. I don't know why. Stuck with me.
Don't clothes also make you colder in certain situations?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
Survival tips.
Yeah. Eric, another weird thing I was thinking about the other day?
What was that?
And I think you're interested in this. I was talking about fruit.
Oh,
And I think that a nectarine outranks a peach.
Okay.
Is that a hot take or no?
I mean, I like a nice peach.
I know you do. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, I don't think a nectarine.
I know you feel.
I don't think a nectarine outranks a peach.
What if they're both peak?
It's a little bit elitist of you too.
Peak nectarine.
Do you think nectarine is available to most people?
Yes, you can find nectarine anywhere.
Yeah, in your fresh market that you go to.
Source from my backyard.
Yeah. No, a peach is better.
Peak peach versus peak nectarine.
Yeah, I've answered you. A peach is the answer.
Let us know what you think about that.
You don't need to do that.
That's like Orlovsky from ESPN. Dan.
He has some terrible.
He has some food
takes. They're not good.
Not good. But I'm just sort of wondering if nectarine versus peach.
The bigger question is if you could only eat one fruit.
We've talked about
that. One fruit ever again, including all of its usages.
Yeah, for example, like a grape.
You would if you didn't choose grape, you'd never be able to drink wine again.
Yeah. And what are we saying about tomato in this situation?
Tomato, we're not counting.
We're excluding the tomato because sauce is.
If it was tomato, it would have to.
Be tomato. I think we agree with that. Yeah. So excluding tomato, but including grape, what fruit would you eat for the rest of your life?
Right. So
that's a big one.
Put a lemon on a lot of things, but you're not sitting down to eat a lemon.
No. But say, for example, an apple is consistent. Apple pie, you make an apple crisp. You can eat an apple. You can do some apple and peanut butter.
I don't even remember. I can't remember if I said orange or peach or cherry or what I said.
It's a big. To me, apple is big, but it's also it can't contend at the top.
No,
you know
it's too average.
It's just very consistent.
Right.
But if you got a really good nectarine, that seems like number one to me, if you ask me. So let us know what you think, NZ Nation. Let us know what you think.
You love nectarine.
Yeah, I love nectarine. High on nectarine. Yeah. Could be just because I had a really good one the other day, and I was like, I don't think anything could beat this. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Got a lot of time on my hands. Eric, let's get the voicemails, huh?
Let's do it.
We got one this week, and it's a long-time listener. First time leaver of voicemails, okay? Calling in from Minnesota.
Hello. This is my first time, long-time listener. My name is Cody Thornburg, and I live in Minnesota, but diehard Denver Broncos. I got to tell you, I appreciate you guys, but there's a lot of tomfoolery going on the podcast. Phil, sometimes I question really if you've got knowledge about the Broncos and about football, but I appreciate your heart. Eric, thanks for bringing us the X's and O's. And go Broncos. Let's ride.
Cody.
Oh, man.
Gosh, that kind of was a shot, huh? That was another
shot. Are you okay?
No. What? First of all, thank you for leaving a voicemail, even though it was a shot at me.
I liked it.
I do bring some heart.
I liked it a lot.
Why do you think my shtick has become, he doesn't know about football?
Is that a shtick or is that just – I thought that was real.
Well, why do you think that people think that? I know a lot about football.
Yeah. Do you think trying to learn how to pronounce our players' names on the podcast was good or bad?
That probably hurt me a little bit. Yeah. I'll say this. If I have to use a name in a highlight, say I'm doing the postgame show, I got to use the highlight, boom, I'll know all of them.
The postgame show with Todd Davis?
Yeah.
I like that show.
I know that.
I like that show.
I know all those names.
Yeah.
I know the names come the 53.
Right. If you catch a touchdown, you know who it is.
Yeah. Yeah. If you make interceptions, I know that.
You know who Russell Wilson is?
You make a nice sack.
You know who Pat Surtain is?
You have a good little sack. I know that, too.
Yeah. You know Travis Fulgham?
Yeah. Excuse me?
Sorry.
That's number 15, the wide receiver. Yeah. He didn't go anywhere. He's here.
Where did he come from?
Yeah. He was the Philadelphia Eagles' leading receiver 2 years ago.
Look how much you know.
Yeah, see? It's because he might catch a touchdown.
Can I have my note card back?
Yeah. Thank you for that.
It's I'll let you do that one.
Kind of hurt my feelings there, yeah.
Well, I mean, you just got to think about it. You awake from a slumber every morning.
Yeah.
You get up. You shave the full-grown beard that's grown overnight.
Yeah.
You just make a pot of coffee.
And then
it's as strong as it can be.
Sludge, really.
Yeah. Like you're going down to the mines.
Yeah. Pack my pail up.
You take your baby.
Yep.
You take him off to daycare.
Yep.
You kiss your wife goodbye.
And I get to work.
You drive here in traffic. You sit at your desk all day and you work. Yeah. And you don't go home until the sunlight is gone.
I don't see sun. I don't see the sun.
You put in that amount of work, and then when you got somebody questioning if you know anything
hurts
about
my
football.
Feelings. Yeah.
I mean, if you just showed up here in a T-shirt every day, you worked a little bit.
Yeah.
4 hours a day.
Sweatpants.
It'd be like, It'd be like, who?
You would be like
well, I haven't put that much work in, so questioning me doesn't hurt my feelings.
that makes sense. Yeah.
But for you,
I come in professionally.
the amount of time that you spend
I
here.
comb my hair.
Like, I never leave this place. I sleep under my desk.
Yeah,
but
you
sometimes, like, you wake me up when I'm like, what is that? What's that noise?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's Phil coming to work.
So you do sleep.
Oh, I sleep under my desk.
Okay, you have time to sleep.
Because I can, like, reach up and hit over my desk and hit the computer.
Sometimes as much information as I know about the Broncos,
Yeah.
it's sort of like my brain has turned into a hard drive.
Uh-huh.
But the problem is the hard drive is nearing capacity.
Oh.
So if I want to put a new name in, I got to delete an old one.
Okay.
So then I'm like, is it worth? Do I want to delete that old one?
Yeah.
Or do I want to hold on to the old one and just reserve?
There's room for, like, 15 names. Is that right?
Let's just say I have to delete about 15 to 20 names every year and input the new ones.
Yeah.
And so I like to wait to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to
is
prematurely delete
Like,
the old names.
I'll never look at 94 and not think DeMarcus Ware.
Yeah.
You'll never look at 42, who is, of course,
Nick Benito.
right. I'll never not think Casey Kreider.
Oh, that's a weird one to me. I was like, why did you bring up 42? I was like, I know Nick Benito.
Well, I think part of it is
I've deleted Casey Kreider, and I've inputted Nick
I think
Benito.
part of it is, like, who was the first player that you knew in that number, like, when you got here.
A lot
so
of years.
Casey Kreider, for me, was the first 42.
Yeah, exactly.
So I remember that.
Yeah.
Like, 17, I'm always like Deshaun Hamilton.
Oh, Deshaun Hamilton recently was,
Deshaun, he's a tough break.
injured wave type of deal there with the Houston Texans. Yeah. What did he get? It wasn't just a normal wave.
Yeah,
There
waived
was
injured.
Yeah, see?
Close.
That's exactly what I said. A special little one. A special little transaction there. But yeah, he's had a tough go of things. We wish Deshaun the best.
But Cody, thank you. I try to provide some facts. Phil knows.
I bring
Phil,
the heart.
we go in there.
Well,
you use up a lot of your knowledge just in the office.
yeah.
And so
the other thing is, like, if we both were just like really hard DVOA, X and O, this would be a boring podcast.
Right.
We got to balance each other out a little bit.
And thank goodness.
I bring some of
It's
the
not
humor.
thank goodness it's not a boring podcast.
Yeah. I bring a lot. I bring the nectarines.
Yeah, you love nectarine.
Yeah. It's a good word, too. I mean, it's just like
good word.
all around, it's just top notch.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat that.
It's root. Nectar is like a good root, too.
Yeah.
Like, people love nectar.
Yeah. You nectar.
How many
lot,
nectarines do you do, like, at once?
Yeah.
Do you eat multiple nectarines?
So, during an evening, I'll do like 2 or 3 nectarines.
How many peaches? More or
No,
less?
Less. Way less.
Fewer, sorry.
Yeah, fewer. Yeah, see? Do you even know this language that we're using? Eric, let's get the shout-outs, okay?
Oh, yeah.
You got any shout-outs that you'd like to name?
Yeah, well, I think we could do a couple of shout-outs here with the ownership related.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Shout out to the Bolin family. You mentioned Pat Bolin's
Yeah, we do
legacy
shout
here.
out.
Hall of Fame owner. Brittany Bolin
Yep.
has worked here for a long time
Yep.
in a VP role. She's obviously dedicated a lot of time to this job. Annabelle Bolin has worked here. Patrick Bolin.
We've gotten to know the family pretty well, Eric. And I'd say, like, one of my favorite memories working here so far, you and me so far. There's a lot of room left. It's
true.
That book's not been.
Going to delete some more hard drive space.
One of my favorite memories, though, you and I both in the room with the knock. We were with the family waiting for that Hall of Fame knock. That's a special memory.
That's one of Ben Swanson's least favorite memories.
He was not in the room.
He was just kind of clawing at the door outside. Like, they thought the knock had arrived because Ben Swanson kept
He was knocking.
He was like, let me in.
He's
And
like, do you guys need anything? Are you thirsty?
Look at me. Go away.
Look at me.
So, but yeah, shout out to the Bolin family. Also, a shout out to Joe Ellis.
Yep.
Not an easy role that he was asked to step into. Obviously, Pat Bolin was a close friend of his.
Yes.
You know how emotionally difficult that was. I think he did a better job than most people probably realize. I don't think people maybe sense how difficult of an ask that was.
A lot of work.
Where you're the acting owner. Yep. It's a lot of work, but you don't have, you don't want to overstep.
Full autonomy.
Right.
To just
you
do
don't
whatever.
want to overstep.
Yeah.
And so I think Joe has done a great job leading this organization. Obviously, team won a Super Bowl.
Yes.
And is on the verge of returning to successful times, I think. So,
Seems like with Russell Wilson.
So shout out to both of them.
Yep.
I don't want to hog the shout outs. You got mad at me that
Well,
one
Liz
time.
Gerald's obviously.
Well, yeah.
Back after 4 to 5 weeks of honeymooning.
Star volleyball player.
I heard that she's pretty good at volleyball.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Only was hit in the face once.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like a little meet the parent situation, or what would you say?
Yeah, not quite that bad.
Not that vicious.
No. But some good serving.
That's good.
You know, she serves the community.
And then
serves
she
the
serves
volleyball. Yeah.
Wow. Underhand or overhand? What kind of league are we talking about?
I think Liz did a jump serve.
Really?
Yeah.
Some spin on it or no?
Yeah. It was one of those where it looks like it's going to go long and then it just dies.
Is it one of those things like where you're in front and then you kind of point with your finger?
Yeah, I'm bending over and I've got the two.
Yeah,
or
you got to
one.
play. Yeah, exactly. And then you're like, okay, I know where I'm going with this.
My tattoo's showing a little bit.
Yeah, it's nice.
If anyone's seen a white Subaru, that could be of help to Liz.
Ooh,
you see a white
really
Subaru?
Interesting.
Let us know.
Interesting thing to bring up on a podcast.
I'm trying to
White Subaru.
PSA. Shout out to White Subarus. Not a sponsor.
Not a
Probably won't be.
Probably not. No. Eric, did you know I was the CU Buffs PA announcer for volleyball?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I like that after all this time we still learn things about each other.
Yeah. Keep it fresh. You know. Eric, I was also going to give you a shout out.
For what?
Well, a little known fact, but if you've worked for the Broncos organization for 5 years, okay, you've worked here for what, 7 years? Your 5-year tenure, though, it became official this week, and you received a game ball with your name on it.
I did.
How did that feel?
It was nice. I was
It
going
was
to
a
see
long
if Swanson
time
could bring
coming.
it in here, but it might take too long.
Yeah, that would take too long. Either that's or you got the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Swanson.
In my head, I was
slacking.
Swanson. He's
We'll share a photo of it on the
on
socials.
social media. Yeah. Thank you, Phil.
I know that was a big deal.
This will be
to
my
you.
7th season, but I got a ball that said I've worked here 5 years.
Yeah, I think that
It's
it's probably more
little confusing.
I think it's about like how much work you've done.
Oh, yeah.
That helps.
So in 6 seasons, I've done 5 seasons
years
of worth.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So you probably get a ball every year. You
yeah,
just
I
do
get a
so
5-year
much-
ball. Yeah, I get a
so
5-year
much
ball.
work.
They don't understand how it's possible, but I do it.
Yeah, the budget is. That could be
I save a lot of budget actually because I do like the job of 5 people.
right, but they're spending so much money on these game balls.
Oh yeah, exactly. Every year. Yeah, but it's got your name on it. It's got a date on there, and you're gonna proudly display
It's
that.
displayed.
Yeah, how do you display that? You put it under.
Put it next to
in a
my
safe.
my cat's football helmet.
Oh, got it.
Just a picture of a cat.
Cat. Yeah. You're a cats guy, right?
Cats guy, not a cat guy.
Got it.
Yeah.
You went to Northwestern, huh?
Yeah, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah. That's great. That's nice. All right, well, those are our shout-outs, huh? We got mandatory minicamp coming up next week.
Yeah, I'm excited. Melvin Gordon,
Reportedly going to be
he's
here.
going to be back.
Yep.
See these guys fling the old pigskin around.
I saw a report this week that Melvin Gordon has been working out after OTAs with Russell Wilson. What do you think about that?
Seems like maybe you could just
Do them at the same
coordinate
time.
the schedule
Yeah,
and do it at the same time, you know?
Nope.
Who knows?
Nope. Next week, though, maybe.
Yeah, next week.
We heard, reportedly. So I think things are going to get ratcheted up a little bit.
Intensity.
Yeah. Some of the guys hurt this week, get a little dinged up. Not serious, but it seemed like a little dinged up. Held out because you want them ready for next week. So to me, that means it's going to get ratcheted up. So we'll have a lot of coverage from mandatory minicamp coming up next week. Until then, that's going to do it for us. For Eric Dalal, I'm Phil Milani. You've been listening to
The Neutral Zone.